and rising, and welcome to another segment of CLG Viewpoint. I'm Cindy Lorraine Grais, and it's such a pleasure to have you here with me today. Today is such a beautiful day, sunny and warm. And I've already done my grounding this morning, and it feels good. Feels good to get out on your bare feet in the front lawn. Well, today's Thursday, May the 22nd, 2025. And in the Kingdom of Canada, it is Divina Industria, Divine Life, Day 24, Year 0035. Well, each segment, I'd like to start with a sage clearing. For some of you who haven't heard of a sage clearing, it's a process where I clear out all negative entities, leaving our space in a positive energy. I have a sage stick, and as a lot of you know, I love to grow sage. I've just planted about, it was 5 plants today. Or actually last night I did that. There you go. To all low energy entities, you are sent back to your perfect place. Only divine love and divine light is welcomed here, and so it is. Today we'll be covering what's the healthiest food that is actually harmful. On international news, Chevron oil platform catches fire off Angola coast. Under local news, VicPD seizes 1 kilogram of fentanyl. Could the Site C Dam's massive worker camp end up in a BC landfill? Gas prices climb for the second straight week, led by Alberta and BC. RCMP visits BC ostrich farm to prepare for potential arrest. Now on to the video.
Healthy food that's actually harmful. Processed yogurt, no question. Anytime you see a yogurt that says artificial fruit flavors or natural fruit flavors, that's code word for ain't got no fruit. Natural blueberry flavor. Quick way of saying no blueberries are in here. These flavorings are bactericidal. So you're eating the yogurt to get the probiotics, but the flavoring killed all the bacteria. So there's no probiotics in there, first of all. Then you strip the fat out of it, and then you add processed ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, natural flavors, natural colors. So the health benefit you think from getting the probiotic is gone, and you've added all of these processed ingredients to it. Whole fat Greek yogurt is amazing. Take whole fat Greek yogurt, add a fistful of blueberries, and take a teaspoon and a half of monk fruit and mix it up. It will be as good as any processed yogurt. It's like your new Ben & Jerry's, and it's really, really good for you.
And now on to international news. Chevron oil platform catches fire off Angola coast. The blades injured 17 workers during maintenance operations, the authorities have reported. RT News, May 21st, 2025. A fire erupted early Tuesday morning on the Benguela, Belize, Lobido, Tomboco, BBLT offshore oil platform off the coast of Angola, injuring 17 workers during scheduled maintenance operations, according to the country's oil and gas regulator. The blaze broke out at approximately 3 a.m. local time on the basement deck of the multi-level structure, operated by Cabinda Gulf Oil Company Limited, CABGOC, a subsidiary of U.S. energy giant Chevron. The facility was undergoing routine annual maintenance at the time. The cause of the fire is currently under investigation, Angola's National Agency of Oil, Gas, and Biofuels said in a statement, noting that CABGOC teams responded promptly and were able to successfully extinguish the flames. ANPG added that the production at the site had been halted since May 1st as part of a planned maintenance activities. All injured personnel were airlifted to onshore medical facilities for treatment. According to Jornal de Angola, 6 individuals were transported to the Sacred Hope Clinic in Luanda, where 4 remain in critical condition and 2 others are reported to be in very serious condition. An additional 4 victims are receiving care at Cabinda's General Hospital, where an acting clinical director stated that the patients had sustained mild burns. Speaking to Polygraph Africa, Cabinda's provincial health secretary, Ruben Bucco, confirmed that several victims of the explosion were being treated at local healthcare centers. He reported no fatalities as of Tuesday, although medical evaluations were still underway. However, by Wednesday, Reuters reported, citing a statement from Chevron, that one person was missing in the aftermath of the fire. My personal thoughts. Could this have been an act of sabotage? Thorough investigation, I would imagine, is on its way. Now, on to local news. Check News, written by Adam Chan. Victoria police say one man has been arrested. A kilogram of suspected fentanyl has been seized, and a loaded handgun was found during a raid at a supportive housing building Wednesday. Police say they executed a search warrant at a unit in a supportive housing facility in the 400 block of Swift Street around 6:30 p.m. on May 14th, alongside officers with Greater Victoria Emergency Response Team. Police say the suspect and sole occupant of the unit, a 62-year-old man, was arrested at the scene for possession for the purpose of trafficking, as well as outstanding warrants stemming from Victoria and Saanich. Inside his unit, police say they also found the aforementioned kilogram of fentanyl, a loaded 9mm handgun, and approximately $40,000 in cash. This seizure underscores the real dangers posed by the individuals involved in drug trafficking and the impact it has on our community, said VicPD Chief Del Manick in a statement Tuesday. To have firearms and significant quantities of fentanyl present within a facility designed to support the most vulnerable in our community is particularly concerning, he said. Manick also credited VicPD's strike force with helping identify the suspect. According to Victoria Police, the strike force tackles complex investigations by using a range of techniques, including covert surveillance, undercover operations, and other intelligence gathering. Our strike force officers demonstrated exceptional expertise in identifying and dismantling this threat, and their work is vital to keeping our communities safe, said Manick. Police say the suspect remains in VicPD custody as of Tuesday and that the investigation is ongoing. None of the charges have been proven in court. Personal thoughts. In the Kingdom of Canada, the charges should be laid in court under natural law. More info found at thekingdomofcanada.ca. Could the Site C Dam's massive worker camp end? Up in a BC landfill, Global News. Written by Simon Little and Aaron MacArthur. Posted May 20th, 2025. Could the massive work camp that has housed crews building British Columbia Site C Dam end up in the landfill? It's not out of the question, and it's a prospect that has alarmed directors with the Peace River Regional District, where the $16 billion mega dam is located. Regional district directors raised concerns at a meeting in March after they were contacted by a company BC Hydro hired for demolition planning, with questions about sorting requirements and capacity at the North Peace Regional Landfill. When I saw this the other day, it totally caught me off guard, and I've been involved with this right from day one, District Director Brad Sperling told the March 20 meeting. Never once have they ever said that this would be coming to our landfill or being demolished. But the camp, which housed nearly 2,000 workers while the hydroelectric dam was being built, is reaching the end of its life as the project nears completion. The camp, which includes dorms, kitchens and dining buildings, along with a fitness center, gym, and theater, accounts for nearly 62,000 square meters of buildings, about 1.5 times the size of the Vancouver Convention Center, a report concluded. Demolition would also require the disposal of concrete slabs, asphalt, and steel piles. BC Hydro, for its part, maintains it hopes to find a new home for the camp, in whole or in part. It has been in operation for close to a decade. It has served our workforce well. We're at a point now on our project where we are more than 90% done, Site C Public Affairs Manager Greg Alex told Global News. Our priority is to find an organization or a company out there to take it, to repurpose it. We are in discussions right now with several. Since the initial request, BC Hydro says it has had more interest in the camp, and that 90 organizations have asked about the building. But there are hurdles. The structures are not well suited to conversion for social housing, as the individual units do not have kitchens or windows that open. At the end of the day, we need to find a project that is very similar to the Site C for that facility to be reused. It was purpose-built for our workforce, Alexis said. Moving the structure would also be difficult. A single dorm with 80 rooms would require 30 flat deck trailers to ship. The regional district requested more information about the situation from BC Hydro, which responded saying if it can't find a buyer, it will finalize a decommissioning plan with costs to present to the board. The Crown Corporation expects the facility to be occupied until the end of the summer when the dam comes fully online. And now on to the video.
With work winding down on the massive Site C dam project, BC Hydro needs to offload the camp it built 10 years ago to house thousands of workers. Everything from a full-scale industrial kitchen, a theater, a fitness center, a bar, all need to be repurposed or sold to another operation.
Our priority is to find an organization or a company out there to take it, to repurpose it.
The camp has cost nearly $500 million over the last 10 years, mostly in operational expenses. Hydro first put out feelers to sell the buildings 2 years ago, but were unsuccessful at finding a buyer. In March, Hydro's contractor asked the Peace River Regional District about capacity in local landfills. The inquiry caught elected officials off guard.
Never once have they ever said that this would be coming to our landfill or being demolished.
They should have told us years ago this was going to happen, where we could have made ideas or got ahead with it.
Since the initial request, Hydro has had some more interest in the camp. 90 organizations have asked about the buildings, but they are not easy to move. One dorm with 80 rooms would need 30 flat deck trailers to ship, and they aren't really suitable for social housing or other housing needs. The units don't have kitchens. The windows can't open. The buildings were designed for an industrial application.
You know, at the end of the day, we need to find a project that is very similar to Site C for that facility to be reused.
The regional district requested more information from Hydro. The Crown Corporation has responded that if a buyer can't be found, a decommissioning plan will be finalized with costs and presented to the board. Hydro expects the camp to be occupied until the end of summer, when Site C fully comes online. Aaron MacArthur, Global News.
My personal thoughts. The Site C camp would be perfect to set up the I Am Cured program and homes for the homeless. A full healing community center designed for the people who have addictions and who are in need of assistance for a non-pharmaceutical treatment facility. It has all the space for an amazing program that is stipulated under a decree under natural law, which can be found under the Kingdom of Canada.ca. Does it really matter the cost of moving the camp when the cost of the facility has already been built and many, many lives can have a home and addicts can receive treatment for their addictions? What's your thoughts? Gas prices for a second straight week, led by Alberta and BC, Yahoo Finance Canada, written by Jeff Lagerquist, May 16, 2025. Canada's gas price average came for a second consecutive week, adding 3.4 cents per liter of regular fuel, according to data from Calibrate. The rise at the pumps mirrors a second weekly advance for benchmark oil prices as U.S.-China trade tensions continue to cool. The Canadian average price increased from 1.436 per liter on May 8 to 1.47, led by gains in British Columbia and Alberta. North Bay, Ontario, Calgary, and Kelowna, BC booked the biggest gains. At this time last year, the national gas price average was 13% higher at 1.697 per liter. U.S. West Texas Intermediate Crude, CL equals F, and European Brent Crude Futures, BZ equals F, rose on Friday as analysts bet on smoother trade between the United States and China, easing fears of a global demand hit. Benchmarks are headed for a weekly gain of 1.6% and 1.7%, respectively, according to Reuters. Meanwhile, Uber says fossil fuel demand from its massive fleet of drivers could last longer than the company expected. Earlier this week, the San Francisco-based company's global head of electrification said Uber faces big challenges in its push for drivers to adopt electric vehicles. Uber wants more government help to meet its 2030 goal for 100% zero-emission rides in Canada, the U.S., and Europe. As you see in this diagram here, the top prices are in one town, Duncan, at 171.9, and a 20-minute drive north in Ladysmith, it's 166.9 to 165.9. Such an extreme difference in such a short distance. My personal thoughts. The gas prices are not consistent at all. I priced from one community to another, as I said, from within a 20-minute drive, and there was a 5-cent difference. This only brings hardship on our people. Under natural law, gas prices to go down to 1955 prices. It's time that the political officials follow the decrees that have been implemented under natural law in the kingdomofcanada.ca. You will find those decrees. What do you think about an alternative hydrogen cars? I have a video to show you on hydrogen cars.
Hydrogen is used to run his dune buggy.
I don't care if you use rainwater, well water, city water, ocean water. If you don't have any fresh water, go ahead and use snow. If you don't have any snow available to you, they use salt water because there's no adverse effect to the fuel cell.
Myers started working on this project 4 years ago. He's not a scientist. He isn't even a chemist. In fact, he never graduated from college. Myers was determined, he says, to design something to protect this country from oil embargoes.
And we have calculated that if we take the dune buggy from Los Angeles to New York, we would roughly use 22 gallons of water.
The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Myers' invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run army tanks.
I think that's going to be my next vehicle. Run on hydrogen. RCMP visits BC ostrich farm to prepare for potential arrest. Ashley Joannou, the Canadian Press, May 21st, 2025. RCMP liaison officers have visited a British Columbia ostrich farm to prepare for potential arrest at the property where protesters are trying to prevent a cull, which is a killing of about 400 birds ordered by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Multiple live streams broadcasting from the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, BC, show 3 officers in police liaison jackets and another in uniform at the farm. They tell protesters and the farm's owners they want whatever happens at the farm to be lawful and peaceful, with one telling live streamer Jim Kerr that if protesters want to be arrested, please don't want anyone to get hurt. The police says they want people's right to protest respected, but if arrests begin, they want it to happen peacefully. Katie Pastney, whose parents own the farm, tells the officers in the meeting that lasts less than an hour that people are on edge as she asks police not to bring weapons onto the property. A Castanet news reporter is at the farm Wednesday, but arrived as the RCMP were departing. Protesters told Castanet the visit by the RCMP was described as a wellness check, with the interactions between police and farm ownership remaining respectful. The regional district of Central Kootenay said last week that its landfill would not accept any ostrich carcasses without further testing for avian flu. But the Canadian Food Inspection Agency said on Saturday the killings, will still proceed and the timing will not be made public. Basty's mother, Karen Esperson, is seen in one of the videos streamed Wednesday morning, standing behind a fence with the ostriches and telling the officers that the group does not stand for aggression. An unidentified officer is asked when the killing might happen, but says he has no idea. The Food Inspection Agency ordered the birds destroyed in December after an avian flu outbreak that killed dozens of ostriches, and a federal court judge recently upheld the decision. The agency said Saturday that under the Health of Animals Act, if an owner refuses to meet the depopulation requirements, it could move forward itself or use a third-party contractor and potentially withhold part or all compensation from the owners. The court decision says the farm could be compensated up to $3,000 per ostrich, potentially representing a payout of about $1.2 million if all are culled or killed. My personal thoughts. On the Government of Canada website, avian influenza AH5N1, Canada's response is stated. The risk of AH5N1 to people in Canada remains low. No cases of AH5N1 have been detected in dairy cows in Canada. There's no current evidence that the virus can spread among humans. No evidence. So why is the Food Inspection Agency wanting to kill these 400 ostriches? As the ostriches have now developed herd immunity, much research can be done that will help in understanding this flu. And it's a flu. As in humans, we don't annihilate humans if they have a flu, do we? So why cull these beautiful ostriches? Do you think that 400 ostriches should be destroyed when they have no signs of the flu systems and have herd immunity? Do you think that's fair? Something to think about. I am Lorraine Grais, CLG View Point, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you being here with me today with episode 71. If you feel compelled to, please share this forum with others. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Now I end up with a beautiful BC video that I produced and written. Have a truly wonderful day and see you on Divina Industria Divine Life Day 25, year 0035, which is Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the sunshine and give yourself a hug. You are all worth it.